Hey, what's up, guys? Andrew here. And today, and last night, as I had announced on my video on, well, you guys saw it Thursday or Friday or yesterday, I went to my first horror convention. And, yeah, it was really, really fun. It was Days of the Dead convention here in Chicago. Well, actually, it was out in the suburbs. Basically, I met a lot of people that I really didn't think that I would. It was really fun. Having this is kind of inhibiting, and it's rather annoying, but nonetheless, it was really, really enjoyable. When I first walked in, when I first got into the thing, bumped into Tony Todd, like literally bumped in. And his voice is just ridiculous. I was like, oh man, I just bumped into Tony Todd. It was such a geek out moment. Man, it was so cool. The funny thing is that whenever I hear about all these people talk about conventions and stuff, and they're like, yeah, man, I just didn't have enough money to pay all the for all the signings, autographs, and everything. And I after last night, I understand. I blew through $160 in one night. It definitely shows. I'm going to show off some of the memorabilia, and I did, when I first walked in, I was looking at all the different tables and things, and they had a bunch of artists and a bunch of movies too. And the first things that I looked at was movies, because I was just, I just wanted to see if they had any movies that, you don't normally see, and I did find some, and I wanted to show them off first before I show off any of my autographs or anything, just because these are like, and I'm gonna double dip with my my November update video with these ones. But up first, the first one that I saw on the shelf that I said I have to buy is the Scream Factory Amityville Trilogy Blu-ray. Now this comes with the Amityville 3 in 3D. And it has the first 3 in 3D, and this is a Scream Factory's own transfers of these. So I'm a big fan of the Amityville story and the Amityville movies. So really, really fun. Now with this next one, this was one that I saw, and I said, I was on the phone with my brother at this time. I said, I have to get this. And this is The Fall of the House of Usher. This is an Edgar Allan Poe short story. And online, this goes for about 25 bucks. I got this there for $4. Oh, also, this is on Scream Factory's website for $46. The cheapest I've seen it on eBay is $35. I got it for $30. I got this for $4. This is one of my favorite, again, short stories for Edgar Allan Poe, so I'm excited to watch this. Probably won't watch it till I go back home with my brother, but up next is an 80s slasher movie that I love. I love this so much. I was telling my brother about this. Been telling him about this for about a year, or years now. And this is Ice. Now I have the. I honestly think it's a kind of a reimagining or a remake of the of this movie. It's called Shredder. I like that one better, but this is 80s gold. I mean, this is campy. It's got TNA galore, gore galore. Got really interesting, entertaining kills for, like, it's out on, it's a ski slopes movie. So this is a really cool, you don't get too many slasher movies set in the snow. I mean, I think Shredder and this is the only two I can think of, unless you want to count, like, Black Christmas, and those are Christmas movies, so they don't, I guess they're just taken for granted that they're going to be in the snow. But yeah, other than Christmas movies, you don't really get too many slasher movies in the snow, and this is another one. This is a VHS Prism, I think, is the company who releases this. It's a VHS transfer. As you can see, this is a bootleg. Yeah, I don't mind it, just because this doesn't actually have a DVD release, and I got it for 10 bucks. So I can't really complain. I mean, even the VHS goes for like $30. And again, I was still tempted to buy that. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity. I know it's going to be really bad quality, but I don't care. Another VHS transfer, as you can see here, is of the movie Clown House. Now, this is a Victor Salva movie. Now, if you know much about Victor Salva, he directed the Jeepers Creepers movies. He's convicted of pedophilia, and this is, if you know anything about this movie, this is actually the movie where he did it at. I have my own thoughts on that. I mean, he served his time. He didn't get away with it. He was convicted. He served his time. He's out now and hasn't done it since. So he does, in my opinion, he has the right now he paid his time, genuinely paid his time, and he hasn't done anything since. So it's whatever. But this is actually the movie where it happened. And honestly, it feels weird watching this movie. I've watched it a couple times before. It's on YouTube. But basically the story of this movie is when it came out, you know, it was known, you know, MGM was, you know, they released this movie, but the kid boycotted it that it actually happened to. I mean, this was like 10 years later, but I mean, understandably so. And it got pulled from release, so that only the first like wave of them came out, and MGM says there's less than 150 in existence. So basically they go for around like $100 each copy, and this is a VHS copy of it, you know, and this is ultra rare, so the fact that I'm able to have this, even if it's of terrible quality, is still something to behold, because this is so rare, and just because of the history of the film. It's a really good, really well shot movie. I'd have to do a review on this soon. It just, you know, if you can't, I understand completely if you feel weirded out by having the movie, but you know, it's one of those gray areas for me. But yeah, those are all the movies that I ended up buying. I really liked my pickups. Got some really rare stuff there, as I just suspected. Yeah, so again, that Clown House was $10. So yeah, I got some autographs. Actually, I got 4 autographs yesterday. I was hoping to get more, but I'll tell you about that in a minute. That was my DVD remote. So the first one that I have, I got pictures of each of them, and I'm going to try to show you them on here. I don't know how well you'll be able to see it. But the first one I got is of Sig Haid. Now Sig, he actually charges $10 for his. That is ridiculously cheap, and I love him for that. And it just generic Sig Haid to Andrew. He was such a nice guy, though. He was so like you could definitely tell he doesn't really have a whole lot of energy and stuff, but he's just doing it because he loves the people. And this is the picture that I have with him. Yeah, I'm in my sling and everything. It's so frustrating. Up next, I have CJ Graham, and he signed it. CJ Graham, Jason, Part 6, with a hockey mask. He's a really nice guy. I'm actually friends with him on Facebook, like his personal Facebook page. Yeah, really cool guy. And this is a picture I have with him. Yeah, pretty much all these guys were really nice. The next one here that I have, you probably won't be able to see because he wrote it in the dark area of this, but it says, "To Andrew, Steve Dash," and it says "The Real Jason," smiley face. Now that's actually kind of an inside joke for Friday the 13th fans and for like them. They were teasing each other. You know, like they were all the Jasons were like, there were 3 of them there. They were all in this like small area and they were just messing with each other. So that could be that too. Also, if you know anything about Friday the 13th Part 2, Warrington Gillette gets credited for having the part of Jason, but he actually only played Jason when Jason comes through the window at the end. Steve Dash is the one who actually played Jason through the whole movie. He's the one who has the sack on and everything. So he's such a nice guy, and he was really nice. His picture is with him, and he has the machete up like he does for it's not Paul. Scott. Scott's his name. You know how he cuts him like there? That was really cool. I really like that. And last but not, and certainly not least, the one who I've been wanting to meet for years is Kane Hodder. I had him sign Part 7 and 8. It says to Andrew Kane Hodder, and it says Jason Part 7, 8, 9, and X. I honestly, like, he's such a nice guy, and like he just like he like tells you stories, and like he'll be telling people stories, and it's just so interesting to listen to. Here's my picture with him. Now he's choking me, and I'm making this goofy face. But you know, the kind of the funny thing is that because he's been a stuntman for 40 years, his chokes are actual chokes. Like, I couldn't breathe. So it was it was kind of funny and it's scary at the same time. He actually told me that he had the same thing happen to him working out. So it was kind of funny to have you know, cool stories and stuff. So it was so awesome getting to meet all those people. I was wanting to get there's a lot of people that I missed there. Tony Todd, he quit early, but his was also $40. Kane's was $30. Steve Dash's was $30. CJ Graham's was $30. Sig Hayes was $10. So that was $100 just right there. And I mean, it was crazy. I mean, you just blow through money like there's no tomorrow. I really wanted to get Caroline Williams. She's from Texas Chainsaw Part 2, Hatchet 3. I'm trying to think of other ones. She also, I can't remember what other one she was in. And then also the guy who played Leatherface in Texas Chainsaw Part 2 was there. So I really wanted to get his autograph. They were both $30, and I wanted to go get money out, but I just was like, you know what? I came with this money. I spent it all. And I just walked away. Also, I wanted to get the guy from Nightmare Part 2. He was a really nice guy. The main character from Nightmare Part 2. If you know anything about him, you know it's it's known as the most like gay or homoerotic like horror film of all time. He actually came out as gay like 10 years later, so it's kind of funny. But he was one of the genuine, he was so nice. I actually talked with him for a few minutes, and he actually had the script, his own script from Friday, for Nightmare Part, I keep saying Friday, from Nightmare Part 2, there, and I was reading through it and stuff, and it was so cool to read through. He actually had all of them, like, through all the script changes. I think he said there was 3 or 4 script changes, if I'm not mistaken. So it was kind of cool reading through some of them and where they changed some of the things. I don't remember particular scenes, but it was interesting to see they just changed small things here and there. And then I honestly, the funny thing is that Tony Todd was right beside Kane Hodder, and let's see, they were just joking around with each other, and Tony went to leave, and he was joking around with Kane, and I'm just sitting there having a 5-minute conversation with Tony Todd and Kane Hodder. I mean, that's just fucking awesome. Like, it's just like, I'm just like, all of a sudden, I just like go from just this bit, you know, having a shitty week you know, with this, and just I'm backloaded on all my schoolwork now, and I gotta work today, and it's just, all of this is just awful. And I'm here having a conversation with Kane Hodder and Tony Todd, and I'm just like, this is incredible. Felissa Rose from the first Sleepaway Camp was there. I didn't really talk with her, but she seemed really nice. She was talking to everybody. I'm not a huge fan of that one, so I don't even have a copy of it, so I just couldn't even have her sign it. The other one that I really wanted was Shannon Elizabeth, just because, I mean, it's Shannon Elizabeth, man. I mean, it's just... but Shannon Elizabeth is kind of, she was charging $40 for, you know, to sign, and $40 for a photo. So I was like, man, that's rough. It was a photo op, I think. But I don't know if that meant just have a photo or anything, but that could mean something to any other people. Also, I miss Bill Moseley. He was 20, I think. Shannon Elizabeth, I wanted to have 13 Ghosts signed by her, but it's whatever. You know, the funny thing is that I honestly, like, when I saw her, I thought that I was just going to have a jaw-dropping moment. But honestly, she wasn't as attractive as she appears on TV. I mean, in Scary Movie, in Night of the Demons, and in American Pie, I just, like, it's unfair. It's ridiculous. But, like, actually to see her now, she's just normal. I mean, I don't know. She just didn't appear that attractive. I was, you know, it was less depressing as I thought it would be not getting her signature. So yeah, that's that. Also, I went around some of the vendors, and they had a lot of really cool artwork. The one artwork that I had is, I did buy in Austin. This is going to be for all of us to have. You're going to keep this in your room for now. I will want it back eventually, but you're definitely going to be able to keep this, and you're going to want this in your room, because this guy did this artwork of Halloween. This is illustration. This is an original art painting of Halloween. This is incredibly detailed and just incredibly awesome. Like, this is, oh man, when I saw this, I wanted to buy everything that he had, because he had one of Abraham, and it had Abraham from The Walking Dead, and it said beneath it, it says there's a whole lot of shit that you people don't know shit about. And I was like, that is awesome. But I think he was out of copies of it. I think I asked him about it, and I'm pretty sure I did. But I did end up picking up that Halloween one. That was an awesome artwork. He had pretty much every horror character. He was a fan of the Universal monsters, so that was cool. But yeah, that was all. I missed a couple of people getting signed things, but that's not my only convention. That's certainly not. That's just the first of many conventions I will be to. Yeah, you know, it was super awesome. There were a lot of I forget where I put them. Oh, here they are. And get this. I did buy some other, these are non-horror related, but I got these for my cousins they just had these like metal things. But also this is horror related because, well, this thing isn't, but I got a Chloe Grace Moretz from Kick-Ass's Hit Girl for like a bookmark. It's a metal bookmarker. It's just because she is now going to be in 7 horror reboots, because she's in the Suspiria remake that's coming out in 2017. So, you know, that's pretty much going to be all. I highly recommend going to a horror convention if you have anyone coming around. I will definitely be going to that one again next year. The only thing that sucked about it was this and traveling, because like the bus it took me 3 hours to get back from there, and it took me 2.5 hours to get there because of public transportation and stuff. I don't have a car out here, so it's so awful. But yeah, I'm in the middle of watching the Scream Halloween marathon because I didn't. It just went up a couple weeks ago on Netflix, and I'm really wanting to see how this is. It's really good so far. I actually only have like 20 minutes left in it, so to speak. So I'm going to get back to that now, but thanks guys for tuning in. I had a blast. I mean, it was finally like a time for me to just geek out, and everybody there, you know, you're talking to people in front of you like, oh, I've seen this and this, and they're like, man, I need to catch up on that. And then they're like, well, I've seen this. Also, it was great to finally meet Reject Films. It was really great to finally meet you. It's funny because you like know all the vendors and everything, and I know nothing of like a lot of companies and stuff, but I know a lot of like films and a lot of the backstories of the films and stuff, so it's kind of good to compliment there. Yes, it has 26 minutes left in it. I'm going to get back to it because I got to go to work here soon, so I'm going to try to finish this up before. But yeah, it was a great night. I had a blast. It was so awesome. I hope to see some of you guys there next year. Hopefully I have some more followers and maybe some people who are here in Chicago that can meet me there too. Yeah, so thanks guys for tuning in. Have a great day. I will be doing my top 15 90s movies on Tuesday, so be looking out for that. See you guys on Tuesday. Have a great day, guys. Hopefully I'm not in a sling on Tuesday. We'll see. Yeah, but take care, guys.